Hi, I'm Suffer Jerome, and I am here to bring you your March 2019 horoscopes. So this will be an overview right now, and then you can click on through the playlist, and you'll see each sign, and you can watch the video to see what's going on for your particular sign in the month of March. So, March, here we are. Will it come in like a lion or out like a lamb? I know here in Toronto, we just got hit with the biggest snowfall in recorded history, but we're a couple days before March starts today. So we'll see what happens on the actual March 1st, whether it'll suddenly be spring or if winter continues for us here in the north. Anyways, it's always exciting to think about March coming in like a lion and out like a lamb. That's what we all hope for. And March often indicates spring is around the corner. And it is. It is so close we can taste it. And that groundhog a couple weeks ago said it's going to be early spring. So winter's doing its best to get the best of us here in the north, and we're just gonna let it do its thing. Just let it mellow out. And hopefully, Australia and New Zealand, who have been having horrible heat waves and plagues and droughts and all that, hopefully they'll mellow into their, I guess they'd be going into fall, and hopefully it'll be a much better time for them without the super extreme weather they've been experiencing. So March can mean Mardi Gras. I'm wearing my dress that I got in New Orleans. I've only been to New Orleans once, if you don't include the time I was born there. And I was in New Orleans a few years ago for the World Horror Convention, and I bought this dress to remind me of New Orleans. And so here we are, Mardi Gras. We all think of New Orleans during Mardi Gras, which is on March the 5th. And what's interesting this year on Mardi Gras is that Mercury is also going retrograde that day. So, yeah. Tuesday, March the 5th, Mercury goes retrograde until March the 28th. So Mercury goes retrograde a few times a year. We all know this, those of you who follow horoscopes or follow me, you get your warning about three times a year, and each time is about 3 weeks. So those of you new to the idea of Mercury retrograde can listen. Those of you who already know what it's all about, you can fast forward a bit. And anyway, so when Mercury goes retrograde, we often consider this a time for miscommunication or things not working as we plan. It's a time to really be mindful of everything you're doing and touching and dealing with, especially if you're trying to do things like get a new job, start a new job, look for a new job. It would be very careful with information and communications. It was always about Mercury gumming up the works with electronical things. And it wasn't quite so detrimental back in the day when we had dial-up telephones and black and white TVs with one or two stations and maybe a refrigerator. But these days, everything we do relies on technology and communication. So you may find that you need to double check that that email got sent, double check that you attach that file. If your computer's making weird noises or has a burn-in smell, take it in right away. Don't hope it goes away, because during Mercury retrograde, nothing goes away. Anything that's been nagging and clicking and clacking and creaking, you can bet it's going to fall apart during wonderful Mercury retrograde. If your car's been clanking, get it fixed before Tuesday. So basically, like Mercury retrograde often will have things like the cars will break down, appliances, computers, technology, things running on electricity all seem to get gummed up with the works. But that's not always true every time, or the whole world would go to hell and more people would pay attention to Mercury retrograde. But you see, for some people, Mercury retrograde is like Christmas 3 times a year. It's the only time in their lives things do go right. And so they're happy to see a Mercury retrograde come along. And this can be indicated just by living your life or by checking your planetary charts, your astrological charts. The way the planets are placed in your charts may make it more auspicious for you to thrive during a Mercury retrograde. So at any rate, just the only thing you can really do during a Mercury retrograde is just double check everything. Just double check that things are happening as they should. And you should be okay. Just, allow yourself extra time to get places and things like that, so that if your car does break down, you still have time to get to that brand new job on the first day, right? Okay, so Mercury retrograde goes retrograde on Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. Then we saunter in nicely to the next day, which is a new moon in Pisces at 11:04 a.m. Eastern Time. So new moons, as I say every month, great time for new beginnings. You get a new beginning every month. So you got your do-over. You got your monthly do-over on Wednesday the 6th. So if you feel like some things aren't working, or you want to make a concerted effort to try and get something manifested, maybe now that we're heading into spring here in North America, that maybe it's time to start a new business or a new hobby, or audition for a play, or just try something new, shake up your routine a bit. They do say, and my mom has Alzheimer's, and I know a lot of you also are dealing with people with Alzheimer's, or maybe you yourself have Alzheimer's. And one of the things you can do to try and keep those brain connections moving is try new things. If you've never played video games, this is something you can try. For me, I had never really allowed myself to play video games for the whole time the kids were young and stuff, because I know I have an addictive personality, and if I started playing, I'd never stop. And a few years ago, I was reading about how doing things like video games can help connect brain waves, especially if you're prone to Alzheimer's, and also if you've never really done it before. So I've started to play more games because it is something new for me, and I'm hoping to create new tunnels in my brain with the electric stuff. So, and they're also saying music and dancing also not only is good exercise and all that, but also can help you form new connections in your brains, helps you to remember things. Moving your body is always a good thing, so go to a Zumba class or a yoga class, things like that can really help you. And also, this is turning into a health video, but there is a connection between glaucoma and Alzheimer's. They're really starting to find connections with that, and I'm being watched for glaucoma every 6 months. I don't have it yet, but they think I do. And my mom had glaucoma long before the Alzheimer's, and her sisters all have Alzheimer's, and they all have glaucoma. So to me, that's good proof too. So what they're saying with glaucoma is, how I was just saying, try some dancing or yoga. The doctor told me yesterday, the glaucoma doctor, that, because I asked her about how I'd read some stuff. So she did say that I was correct, that if you're trying to battle glaucoma or stave it off, or there's no cure, there's no way to prevent it, but try not to do things where the blood rushes to your head. So no more burpees, no handstands. I'm glad I don't have to do burpees anyways, because I always had anemia and I'd be too dizzy. So I usually stay at one level or another level when I'm dancing or working out or whatever. So definitely now this is advice I'm passing on to you. If you're prone to glaucoma or glaucoma in the family, don't do headstands, don't do burpees, don't do the yoga moves where your head is down and your body is up. This is all doctor advice, and I had read about it before. So take it as you will, and hopefully put off some of that glaucoma, Anyway, so that's trying something new. There are very good reasons for trying new things, as I'm pointing out to you. try something new to, because we all live a lot longer, so chances are most of us will get, if not Alzheimer's, some kind of dementia or senility. So we want to keep those brains active and wired. So what better time than the new moon, the spring equinox? The spring equinox is on Wednesday, March the 20th, and the sun will be in Aries, and it's a full moon at 9:43. It's the storm moon, so get ready for stormy weather. And yeah, so the full moon is where you can also manifest desires. And as opposed to the new moon, where it's great to start new things, the full moon is a nice time to wrap things up or do some soul searching. Check out your secret side, your creative side, your nurturing side, your goddess side, embracing your inner goddess, getting in tune with your spiritual path. That's all great stuff for full moon meditations. Okay, so it looks like the month is going to be exciting because we do have Mardi Gras and the spring equinox, and the seasons are changing once more, and we're going from Pisces into Aries, and Aries is very exciting spring, the little goat jumping on the mountains and all that. So get ready. If you've been living cabin fever like me, it's now almost we're so close to bursting out of our shells and embracing a wonderful new way of life with new ideas and new beginnings. So, don't forget to check your personal horoscope in the playlist, and we will see you soon.